consciousness and the cosmos.
A path to one's own inner cosmos.
In assistance of the more profound understanding of the current planetary transition. The stimuli that accompanies the pilgrim in his return to his cosmic home.
Consciousness and the cosmos.
Radio program of Uksim, Planetary Service Center.
Path to one's own inner cosmos.
Like some birds, your existence evolves in oppositions that sustain you. They vividly resist being caged, but once the cage is known, it is not strange that, if their door remains open, and after escaping to the external world for a few moments, they return to it, celebrating in the light of their song that rapprochement. You have been told to look at the little birds, open to receive sustenance from the one source. Daniel Gagliardo. The Path of the Pilgrim, Erex, and the Revelation of Ansinusa. Hello, dear listeners. My name is Arowinak.
My name is Katya.
And I am Jez. We will be hosting the program. This radio program has been broadcasting for over a decade. It spreads Cosmosophy through an evolutionary group task. In these programs, we share excerpts from Cosmosophical studies, recorded live in different countries and cities by Daniel Gagliardo, as well as readings and reflections on the material of Uksim, Center of Planetary Service. Daniel Gagliardo is the founder of Uksim. Among his activities for decades, he has been giving conferences on inner work in Sierra del Cielo and other provinces of Argentina, as well as different countries across Latin America and Europe.
There are Uksim groups in several European countries,
such as Portugal, Spain, France, Germany, Bulgaria, and Cyprus.
Today, we will discuss who Daniel Gagliardo is, Uksim Group, and the planetary transition.
What is Cosmosophy?
La cosmosofía es la manifestación de la vida interna en la conciencia del individuo.
Cosmosophy is the manifestation of internal life in the individual's consciousness. When an individual has the sufficient maturity to enter into alignment, in tune with his internal energy, with his internal essence, one of the experiences that he could live, according to his evolutionary needs, is the capture of that internal current and the emergence in his awareness of a philosophy of inner order.
Que podría llegar a vivir según sus necesidades evolutivas, es la captación de esa corriente interna y el emerger en su conciencia de una filosofía de orden interior. Quiere decir una filosofía que no depende.
It means philosophy that does not depend on identifying consciousness with matter.
So Daniel Gagliardo continues.
Entonces la cosmosofía es un conjunto de revelaciones internas.
Cosmosophy is a set of internal revelations. It is what the internal life can stimulate from a degree of maturity of the ego and personality to lead the individual to material being, the lower self on the evolutionary trajectory to the law of karma offers in the material experiences. Who was and who is actually Daniel Gagliardo?
Un joven que a los 11 años aproximadamente vivía una sed muy profunda de conocer cosas que el sistema no le ofrecía, que el colegio no me ofrecía, y de repente mientras mis amigos jugaban al fútbol leía budismo esotérico tibetano.
A young man who, at approximately 11 years old, experienced an intense thirst to know things that the system did not offer him, that the school did not offer him. While his friends were playing soccer, he read esoteric Tibetan Buddhism.
¿Y quién es? Es el resultado de aquella búsqueda y de haberme apartado del sistema en la medida que pude, en que tuve la lucidez suficiente.
And who is he? Is a result of that search and having stepped aside himself from the system to the extent that he could and had sufficient lucidity, and that he was going through the process of discovering what is Cosmosophy.
Entonces mi conciencia empezó a estar receptiva cada vez más de la propia vida interna y empezó a prescindir de aquello que buscaba en los libros y empecé a encontrar gradualmente.
Gradually, his consciousness became more perceptive to his internal life, and he began to find what he was looking for within himself instead of books. Some people consider him a role model for a process that more and more individuals are attempting to achieve. This process involves reaching a different state of consciousness that allows them to disconnect from a chaotic system that has entrapped most humanity.
Para sintetizar, soy un instructor de cosmosofía, quiere decir un instructor que coopera con otros para que puedan ir al encuentro de sus estímulos internos y decirles que es cierto, que se puede, que resulta.
To summarize, Daniel is a Cosmosophy instructor who cooperates with others so that they can go to meet their internal stimuli and tell them that it is true, that it is possible, and that it results.
In the following programs, we will be sharing various Cosmosophy talks with themes like the search of the inner instructor, preparation for the higher evolutionary law,
Rescue operation, evacuation, transmigration, and destiny of surface beings,
Cosmosophy applied, practical spiritual beings,
Presence and assistance of intraterrestrial and extraterrestrial civilizations, contact with them,
the new genetic code, birth of a new humanity,
right consciousness,
the path to harmony and balance,
the transformation of consciousness and the path of service, the law of purification, ailments and diseases, the path to inner healing, prophecies, contribution, and validity. What is Uksim?
Es un centro de servicio planetario. Dicho de otro modo, es un ámbito, ¿sí?, un campo de energía donde un conjunto de personas, impreciso porque va variando, intentan servir al planeta.
Uksim is a service. For us, it's a service. That is why we speak of Planetary Service Center. Is the capacity that the consciousness must achieve to manifest through their thoughts, emotions, and actions, the inner life. Otherwise, there is no service.
Uksim is a state of consciousness and an inner task. At the inner levels, all of us operate in groups. Our souls are part of groups of souls at the internal levels, which refer to the supramental levels beyond the mind.
Generalmente los seres que habitamos la superficie del planeta vemos como un gran inconveniente, como algo muy difícil, sintetizar la vida, simplificar la vida, ser menos superfluos. Un campo de servicio planetario es un campo donde se ensaya la trascendencia y la superficialidad y la renuncia a las metas egoístas y personales para que precisamente como centro de servicio planetario manifieste, atienda metas universales.
As a part of this, certain beings, known as Uksim, have recognized each other's presence and come together to fulfill their task externally. A planetary service realm is a field where transcendence is practiced, and the renunciation of selfish and personal goals is required to manifest and address universal goals as a planetary service center.
What does it mean that there was a shift from masculine to feminine energy in 1988?
En el cosmos todo se rige por polos, solamente que hay una sublimación gradual de la expresión polar. Como nosotros estamos en un campo kármico, ¿sí?, por más que el planeta tiene otros niveles que no están bajo ley de karma, nosotros estamos en un campo kármico, el planeta en sí tiene que hacer experiencias polares, aunque sean de corte superior, pero todavía polares. Entonces, para poder revertir...
In the cosmos, poles govern everything, but there is a gradual sublimation of the polar expression, as we are in a karmic field, even though the planet has other levels that are not under the law of karma. We are in a karmic field, and the planet itself has to make polar experiences, even if they are of a higher level, but still polar. An inversion has to be made to reverse an evolutionary aspect of the planet and what constitutes it.
Hasta este momento lo que actuaba era la energía masculina, energía de exteriorización, de extrospección, de ir para afuera, ¿sí? De motorizar, de empujar afuera, de hacer experiencias, investigación. Eso es el polo masculino, el polo fálico, ¿sí?
A transpilation of energies. Up to this point, it was the masculine energy at work, the energy of externalization, an extrospection, of going outwards, of motorizing, of pushing outwards, of making experiences, of research. That is the masculine pole, the phallic pole.
Para poder revertir la situación planetaria y llevarla a la disposición gradual de la ley evolutiva superior,
to reverse the planetary situation and bring it into the gradual disposition of the higher evolutionary law, we had to take out this tendency, alter the external extrospective phallic circulatory order and reverse it towards the feminine, towards the introspective, which is what happened.
entre primero en una hipofunción, que es una función disminuida, hasta finalmente desactivarse, para que gradualmente, mientras ese proceso de hipofunción, ¿sí?, que va a terminar con una desactivación, ¿sí?, simultáneamente permita
first in a hyperfunction that is a diminished function until it finally deactivates, so that gradually, while the process of hyperfunction is going to end with a deactivation, it will simultaneously allow the higher evolutionary law or the law of cycles to take control of the whole planet.
Una energía femenina, porque el logos, que fue el que sostuvo la expresión kármica, tiene una experiencia evolutiva muy puntual, pero limitada. Y lo mismo el logos que está tomando gradualmente la regencia del planeta. Tiene una puntual...
There are two great planetary consciousness, very distinct and widely different. Because the logo, who was the one who held the karmic expression, has a very punctual but limited evolutionary experience. The same thing, the other logo, that is gradually taking over the regency of the planet, has a very punctual cosmic, planetary and solar experience, which allows it to take over this planet without being destroyed, without this planet being dissolved.
Porque son dos grandes conciencias planetarias bien marcadas, bien diferentes, ¿sí? Porque el logos, que fue el que sostuvo la expresión kármica, tiene una experiencia evolutiva muy puntual, pero limitada. Y lo mismo el logos que está tomando gradualmente la regencia del planeta.
The logos that is withdrawing refers to the planetary consciousness that relinquishes space. It is doing so because it lacks the knowledge and ability to handle the current crisis, which has caused chaos and imbalance. Logos has such an awareness, such a precise knowledge of its scope and its limitation, that as soon as he perceived the premature polar deactivation could lead to certain condition, he emitted a vibratory pattern that was captured through the galaxy, and then in the galactic regent, then in the solar system.
Que la desactivación polar apresurada podía llevarlo a una cierta condición, emitió un patrón vibratorio que fue captado en la galaxia, en toda la galaxia, luego en el regente galáctico, luego en el sistema solar, y se empezó a acomodar todo para ser asistido, como ahora es asistido, para que él ceda a este planeta a otro logos.
In the cosmos, a continuous flow of energy exists that is perfectly organized. In our solar system, there was a recent adjustment of vibrational patterns, which resulted in a depletion of male magnetic polarity, and the birth of the female. This change is specific to our planet and this sector of the galaxy. On the planet's surface, due to our inflexibility, we cannot directly transit from one pole to another. However, with the help of an extension, which is act as a transition between the two, we can make a small move and reach the other pole.
Porque los mayas, ¿sí?, tenían un conocimiento respecto al agotamiento de ese ciclo. No decían 2012 porque eso es el calendario gregoriano, nuestro calendario. Pero los mayas, en su medición calendaria, sí, que coincidía con el año 2012, apuntaron a cuándo tenía que ser el agotamiento de la polaridad masculina. Pero nosotros generamos tal desequilibrio y caos que se tuvo que anticipar a 1988. Entonces, el 2012 en realidad, ¿sí?, acontece en 1988.
So therefore, from 1988 until today, as we're entering 2024, we're still in a transition, because humanity does not transform, does not accompany. Doesn't do it so because it totally denies any cosmic, as they call it, some romantic madness, which would be, for example, the exhaustion of one polarity and the birth of another polarity. If there had been a response from humanity, the transition would have been over by now, and it would have happened at the time that was foreseen, which was in 2012. Because the Martians had knowledge regarding the exhaustion of the cycle. However, they did not say 2012 because that corresponds to the Georgian calendar, which is precisely our calendar and not the Martians' calendar.
Pero los mayas, en su medición calendaria, sí, que coincidía con el año 2012, apuntaron a cuándo tenía que ser el agotamiento de la polaridad masculina, pero nosotros generamos tal desequilibrio y caos que se tuvo que anticipar a 1988. Entonces, el 2012 en realidad, ¿sí?, acontece en 1988.
But the Mayans, in their calendar measurement that coincided with the year 2012, pointed to when the exhaustion of the male polarity had to be. Transition extends indefinitely because we are not in a position to accompany the dynamics of the transition with our transition with our own transformation. There has to be a percentage of humanity on the surface that sufficiently accompanies with the corresponding rhythms and capacity for transformation. Something that is not happening is why the transition is not over. The energy is still stimulating people to become more aware of what must be done and assume it.
Entonces, a esta pregunta que tenemos acá, ¿de qué se debe hacer para colaborar con la transición planetaria y con nuestra evolución, dice acá la persona, está en esto, de abrirnos a las leyes internas.
discussing the concept of an evolutionary plan and how we should prepare ourselves to assist it.
De estar aquí atentos para no seguir hipnotizados con influencia del campo material de la vida, que es muy eficiente porque nosotros permitimos que sea tan eficiente. Nosotros permitimos momento a momento que se nos entrene para poder ser eficientemente convencidos por esta realidad material que en definitiva para la mayoría en el planeta es la única verdad.
Some people could misunderstand the specifics of this plan and falsely believe that their own evolution is solely for their benefit.
Porque la persona lo está colocando en función del plan evolutivo. Se supone que no es un requerimiento egoísta. Está hablando de cómo prepararnos en nuestra evolución para asistir al plan evolutivo. Pero también podría ser que la persona no entienda muy bien qué es el plan evolutivo y que entienda que su evolución es algo que le pertenece, en definitiva.
This could lead them to believe that they have the right to use their evolved state for personal gain. It is possible that they view the evolution as a tool to be used in whatever they please.
Entonces, tenemos que entender que la evolución no es nuestra. Nosotros transcurrimos la evolución, pero la evolución no es nuestra. La evolución es parte de la voluntad del cosmos. Nadie podría ir a ámbito ninguno, ningún ser podría evolucionar, ninguna partícula podría removerse del campo.
We must understand that evolution is not something we control. Instead, we are subject to its influence. It is a part of the will of the cosmos. No a single being can progress or evolve, and not a single particle can leave its field without the activation of subtle, subjective mechanism by the cosmic law. These mechanisms allow for the necessary changes to take place.
Entonces nuestra evolución no es nuestra. Nosotros la vivimos, nosotros la transcurrimos, la experimentamos, pero la evolución en sí misma es una corriente de energía, es un movimiento, un orden circulatorio al cual se nos permite acceder.
Therefore, our evolution is not ours. We live it, we experience it, but evolution itself, it's a current of energy. It is a movement, a circulatory order to which we are allowed to access and which is total and absolutely exclusive to cosmic life and cosmic laws. When an individual evolves for this reason that we have just explained it, he is not offered the ability to freely use the result of this evolution that he calls his own.
El cosmos formatea, el cosmos fabrica, podríamos decir, constituye los universos a la medida de los seres que tienen que estar presentes en ellos o que se van a hacer presentes en ellos para vivir esto que llamamos evolución.
The only way for humans to progress through evolution is to work towards enhancing the quality of life in the universe that they are a part of. This universe provides them with the necessary energy, vibrations, and opportunities to expand their consciousness. The cosmos structures itself according to the beings which inhabit it or will inhabit it in order for them to undergo the process of evolution. The conditions of that universe are tailored to fit the individual needs of each one of us. In other words, the whole evolutionary mechanism is practically foreign to us.
Entonces, ¿cómo es que llegamos a evolucionar? Precisamente porque lo único que tenemos que poner de nuestra parte es la vocación de ascender, de elevarnos, de conocer lo desconocido, de ir al encuentro.
So how is it that we come to evolve? Precisely because the unique thing that we have to do is the vocation to ascend. Elevate ourselves in knowing that the unknown, elevate ourselves in knowing the unknown and find the essence within us.
De conocer lo desconocido, de ir al encuentro de la esencia que está en nosotros. Eso es lo único que podemos hacer para evolucionar. Quiere decir, esa pequeña partecita es la que se nos exige a nosotros. Lo demás lo coloca, lo ofrece y lo sostiene el cosmos. Por eso, aquel que evolucione,
that is the only thing that we can do to evolve. It means that a small part of the process is what is demanded of us. The cosmos offers it and sustains it.
Por eso, aquel que evolucione tiene que entender que el producto de esa evolución tiene que retornarlo en acciones, ¿sí? En pensamientos, en sentimientos y en actitudes a la energía que lo fue llevando, que lo fue conduciendo en ese proceso que él llama su evolución. Eso es lo que nosotros tenemos que aportar al plano evolutivo.
That is why the one who evolves has to understand that the output of his evolution has to return it in actions, thoughts, feelings, and attitudes to the energy that was leading him in that process that he calls his evolution.
Entender que nuestra vida y nuestra conciencia pertenecen al único, que deben responder a sus leyes, y en este caso, participando de la vida planetaria tal como hoy se presenta,
we must contribute this to the evolutionary plan, understanding that our life and consciousness belong to the unique. Today, we must respond to his laws, and in this instance, participating in the planetary life as it is presented is the assistance to the evolutionary plan.
Es la asistencia al plan evolutivo. Quiere decir, donar nuestra vida y nuestra conciencia en beneficio de que el planeta pueda elevarse por sobre encima de su actual situación caótica y desarmónica.
It means donating our lives in our consciousness to elevate the planet above its current chaotic and disharmonious situation.
We do not underestimate your difficulties. You do underestimate your potential to overcome them. That is how engrossed you are in the idea that you are what you were and don't have the precious love needed to assume your freedom. Daniel Gagliardo. The Path of the Pilgrim, Erex, and the Revelation of Ansinusa. All books of Daniel Gagliardo are available on Amazon.
Thank you for being with us. Next time we introduce topics as
To love the unknown, how to open the path towards love, and what is pure love.